Look, I'm wearing pants anyways. I'm not gonna show you my crotch. Okay, whatever. Uh, why the fundamentals get overlooked? Um, but yeah, I am wearing pants, so you're welcome. Another set at least. But we overlook a lot of things that could make our lives, but especially like when people say, "There's," I mentioned on this way too many times, so I'll try to be a bit more merciful about it. The over analyzing thing, like I don't have to keep mentioning that done to death on my own terms alone, but you get what I mean, because that's a big part of my life is like whether or not I was overthinking or not taking enough action or whatnot. But in regards to either the simple things or other things we seem to overlook, it's we think that we can overlook things that are meticulous and complex, but we certainly do overlook simple things. And for those who don't believe me, let me give you one solid example of something simple we do overlook: the basics. That was implied, but it wasn't obvious. So there you go. The basics, the fundamentals, the 101s, not the not the 004s. Oh my gosh. If you know, you know. But anything that comes across as being, if you don't come across the ladder from the foothold, you can't climb the bottom rung. And it's not supposed to be like a workplace reference at that point. That is a workplace reference, but like workforce reference. But I'm using it in terms of like like what people will say about math and science being like you gotta know the basics to math and science to get to the advanced math and science. And they're not trying to be linear with that. There are some linear truths that happen in life, unfortunately. But as far as overlooking the simple things, there are people who will see soft skills and throw that in the trash. And I'm like, yes, it may not be a hard skill. It may not be something that literally gets you a job or career and literally gets you make a so-called living. But if you're gonna overlook the soft skills, what's the point? It's like it's I'm big on soft skills. That's why I even have my previous crosswind banner on Patreon still, at least not YouTube anymore so much. Every back and forth, I'll use the desktop icons for that one of the banner idea I had before. If you know, you know. Again, but there's the idea that like music theory, you follow the rules until you break them, and then it's like with hard and soft skills, it's like to be good at a job, have hard skills. To be better at a job, apply soft skills. And that may not be the right quote, but basically, as somebody who very much values the soft skills and still will work to attain the hard skills, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna cap, but the hard skills are crucial, apparently as they are. But when you don't understand what gives you a better like depth of the world that you live in, just because you did things to literally succeed, doesn't mean that you're going to have what it takes to actually make that work for yourself in a way that you could call Survivor Thrive, but there's more to it than even that. I dare say that even soft skills has a bit of has life that you don't even find apparent in hard skills. That's my debate and a lecture of that. I don't want to be like, oh, hard skills suck. They don't matter. They do matter, but they're not like soft skills matter too, in my opinion. They're not the things that you want to overlook. You don't want to. That's just one solid example of soft skills and basics. You don't want to overlook the simple things. You don't want to be the kind of person who thinks that just because they have um, some form of dialect for how to live their life, they can still love and develop. I even told this one time to a guy who basically could tell I was insightful in 5 minutes. I told him that a long time ago, like 2017, that's not long ago, but 6 years is a long time for a lot of people. According to DJ Mackel, 8 years is a long time when he finished the Dendron Bobby from Dragon books. If you know that book series, you know that book series. Not just Harry Potter for less you folk. Harry Potter, Dendron, some other classic book series. Considered classics now in our day and age because we're 21st century. That still was within, but whatever, because we're still in 2020s. You know, so but basically, you want to be someone who is not like overlooking some of the really valuable treasures in what we know. Being able to pamper yourself and humble yourself either way. Being able to enjoy the process and the journey. And that could be different. That could be the same thing. But process in the moment, journey in the meantime. And then not to be about permanence or omniscience and not have to worry about either or those things. Not have to worry about change. I just finished listening to the audiobook on Kindle, Who Moved My Cheese. So you know I'm not happy on this again. But but we have to be humble. We be willing to both pamper ourselves and humble ourselves. We have to be able to know that we can take care of what we think is right and still change in the meantime. If we want to be able to catch up with the cheese, We have to be able to move our own shoes first. We have to be able to not worry about what was there or what wasn't belonging. We don't get what we deserve. We get what we attract. And I beat that to death until the cows come home and my face turns blue. You're gonna really want to not be someone who's only hard skilled. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I don't care how well you have it. I don't care what you don't need to know anymore. If you're not learning and expanding, you're not gonna grow the way that even you don't understand. I told you before that I understand very well. I believe John Vell. Okay, so for those of you from the MGTOW community, you know the guy James Von Maxwell. When I ended that other stream with him from like 2021, 2020, 2022, in the after show, he basically told me that not only am I a very interesting person, it's possible that I'm an interesting person by merits. I'm probably more interesting than even I realize myself. Hearing that from him just lit my like a brimstone in my heart, man. Oh my gosh, I already believed him because I knew he was telling the truth. It is as straight from the horse's mouth as you can get in a good way, like good light. It's because when you're that intense of a person, and this is relevant to this video, I'll explain why. When you're that intense of a person, you're not going to only believe the things that you already know for yourself from your own self-reflection. Self-reflection is a good thing by its own merit already, but believing and trusting that there are better things that even you can comprehend over yourself, that's a beautiful thing, man. Beyond beautiful. Really F-bombing other slurs and slangs and vulgars. Beautiful. It is. It's just, but you're not going to want to only stay there. You're going to want to continue to get better up the mountain, up the proverbial mountain, even with that. And that's, don't be hard on yourself in the meantime, though. Be willing to put it in the present moment. But keep climbing mountains otherwise. Keep finding new mountains to climb. Keep finding your own cheese and moving your own cheese. And make sure that you're the kind of person that you would be grateful for changing and doing something about in the future, and looking back into that past and still wondering how you were that awesome back then, because you're better than that even then in the future, right? Don't overlook the simple things. Even if you want to humble yourself and pamper yourself in the meantime, that's supposed to be the point of this video. Don't overlook the simple things, because there's things that you don't understand about life that not even I know about that could really make or break you. If you're not the kind of person who's high on their horse all the time, unfortunately I am, but kind of like not having to worry about why you don't have what you want and you still didn't see it too discreetly or immaterially. Because discrete as combinatorics and against quantitative reasoning is, and underrated maybe, branch of calculus, whatever. Other math terms I'm not gonna throw out on the other hand, the things that are immaterial, the spiritual wisdoms I keep applying in my life, the law of manifestation, the things I do with affirming my actual beliefs and thought patterns, you name it. It doesn't come down to only being complicated. Even I admit that. It's not just about the complicated things. It also is not just about keeping it simple. You're going to have to discern for yourself what that even means, but as well as I would. I'm just giving you an option for that. I'm giving you the option to figure out for yourself if what you want to put in your life is what really is already there. And if it's not, unfortunately, you're going to have to do something about that. But don't be hard on yourself if you have to. So that is all for now. There is no really good thumbnail for this video. I don't even think it's even a podcast episode of any kind of the two so far I have for my channel. The MyWire LLC channel currently. So the thumbnail is probably going to just be some kind of weird picture I picked from Google again, and just threw into the editor, or even not even the editor, but even worse than that, just threw into the thumbnail picker on YouTube. But with that in mind, let's do a 10-second end card, which I won't edit anyways because I had to go on my desktop for that, and the playlist for podcasts. Now let's go under 10 seconds. Actually, to 15 from here, so 9:15. Okay. Yeah. Pain and discipline, pain and regret versus each other. Not having to worry about things because you know things are going to be okay. And the perfect amount. There you go.